Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I would like to show this deck off today. This deck is called Recall the Ancestors. Alright, so this one is a really nice one. I think this is a deck that's going to help you to win games in really extravagant fashion. What you'll see here is the Thopter Spy Network. This is a really nice one. It helps you to put down a ton of Thopters. Right? It says basically if you have this support here and you have another support down, those two supports will trigger this ability, and it's basically put down 4 1/1 Thopters with flying every single turn right at the beginning. So that's really nice. There's a draw ability here as well, but really with this one, what you want to do is get those Thopters going, right? If you get those Thopters going, you're going to be able to do a lot of damage. And the reason that you're going to be able to do a lot of damage is we got this card here, the Moonshaker Cavalry. All right, I'll read what it says, and you can kind of see how it ties in nicely with those Thopters. It says, when this creature enters the battlefield, reinforce each creature you control 1 time. Your creatures get X, and gain flying. X is the number of creatures you control, including their reinforcements. So you can imagine what this will look like. If you have a lot of Thopters down, you're going to be able to buff them in a really big way with this card here, right? It says X is the number of creatures you control, including their reinforcements. So you'll be able to give them a nice buff over here. They'll also, of course, get another reinforcement, and they'll gain flying, but they already had flying, right? So that really doesn't help. But you'll see that big buff. Now, the thing with this deck is we want to use Moonshaker Cavalry as many times as humanly possible, right? So what we're doing is we're putting this card here, Eternal Wanderer. Eternal Wanderer, it says exile target creature. Then if that card is a non-token creature, return the last creature from its controller's exile to the battlefield under your control, or under their control. What we're going to try to do is get a bunch of Thopters down, all right? Launch this Moonshaker Cavalry. That's going to give those Thopters a big buff. And hopefully we'll get this card down as well. We'll exile target creature, which will be this creature. This creature is going to come back into play and then add that buff again, right? And you can see what this whole deck is about. It's about really putting down as many of these Thopters as you can. We have some other, of course, tokens that you can use. But if you get these Thopters down, you use the Moonshaker Cavalry to give them that really, really big buff. That's going to help. And then we're going to try to use Eternal Wanderer and this card here, Abuelo, to just keep loading up on those Moonshaker Cavalry buffs, right? You can read what it says here. When this creature attacks, you may exile another target creature you control. If you do, return the first creature card from your exile into play under your control. And of course, that's going to be Moonshaker Cavalry, right? We're going to exile Moonshaker Cavalry every time Abuelo attacks, and then we're going to put him back into play, which gives us that big buff again. All right, we're going to use that to put down the offense that we need. As I mentioned, we got some other tokens. What we're going to try to do, if possible, is get us the Samurai. Samurais are going to do nice damage because they got that double strike. They'll also get the big buff from the Moonshaker Cavalry, right? So really, you can see what it does, and that's really what we're going to try to do. Trying to, of course, play some defense here. Virtue of Loyalty is a nice one. You can pause the video and read what it says, but it basically buffs your creatures in a big way, especially if you got those tokens, right? Anyway, we'll take a look at some gameplay and show you this deck. Okay, here we go, guys. I'm hoping to get the Moonshaker Cavalry out as quickly as possible. Looks like we got some spells for defense. I'm going to turn that off. Serra Sanctum, this is a nice one, but really you can kind of substitute this one out. What this one does is really just converts gems for you. Alright, so we'll try to go with that one. Converting gems is important for a deck like this. For those of you that don't have Dovin Bond, the Grand Arbiter, that's who I like to use for this because of the Thopter ability here. If you don't have him, this is what he does. These are the abilities. These are the mana bonuses right there. Alright, so kind of keep that in mind. This is a really good one. I do like him. Alright, that being said, let's see if we can get some game footage down on this guy here. You know what, I'll go like that. What I'm hoping for, as I mentioned, is to get a lot of those Thopters out. Hopefully we'll get them out quickly. We'll just have to see, because I think the faster we get them out, the more dangerous this deck will be. There we go. And then we'll go with Moonshaker. We got to make sure we have Moonshaker. That's one of those that just really helps to really put this deck into overdrive and just really get you what you need to do. Get it all done. Okay, it looks like we're going to have the cards that we want. Tell you what, we'll turn off the Moonshaker Cavalry. And I think we'll do Eternal Wanderer here. Eternal Wanderer, I'm kind of thinking, you know, sometimes you want to wait on that one. But in this case, I think you can just launch him. Specifically because he does give you access to those amazing samurai tokens. Okay, let's take a look. Get me my Thopters. There we go. Alright, now that we have those Thopters down, I would like to start putting some more mana towards our important cards there. The Eternal Wanderer. Alright, that looks good. Alright, so it looks like we have the cards that we want. These are the cards that we're going to need to have in order to launch that combo I was telling you about. So that's going to be really good. Alright, we're going to give a creature the Royal Roll here. There we go. Eternal Wanderer again. Go Moonshaker Cavalry. And at this point, you know, there's not a whole lot more we need. Gonna get me some Samurais. As soon as Moonshaker Cavalry is out, that's gonna be pretty much what we need to win this game. So let's just make sure we get him out as quickly as possible. There we go, got some damage on the opponent there. We get a nice ability to defend here. That's not too big at this point because, of course, we are not in the position to defend well there, so he's not going to do that. Alright, here we go. I will take another Samurai, please. There we are. Alright, and then Moonshaker Cavalry is going to come out. You're going to see the buff that he does give to these. And it's going to be a nice, considerable buff. And you can see it there. What we're going to be able to do next turn is really do this whole thing again and then give the buff again. And I'm hoping he doesn't use his ability here, which he does not, because that ability is nasty. Oh, return one of my creatures to the hand. Alright, let's see what we can do. If we can get that creature back out, that's going to be good. Tell you what we'll do. We'll put this guy up. And, alright, I think that should be it. Oh, I could have gone with the Samurais, but you know what? We're okay. Let's see if they destroy the Samurais here. That would be a good thing. Yep. You know, it's just one of those that it's like you're doing a ton of damage with those Samurais. Of course, they're going to want to take them out, right? There we go. I'm going to add more of those Samurais back in. I do like those. As you can see, they do a ton of damage. Alright. You know what? We'll get us more of these Thopters. And we're going with this. As I mentioned, as soon as we get that Moonshaker Cavalry back down, we're going to be able to win this game. In fact, we'll win it on the next turn. But you can see what we're going for here, right? We had the Moonshaker Cavalry down. We were going to try to use this exile to exile the Cavalry and then move them back in, which will help us with that buff, right? It gives us an extra turn at that buff. But anyway, this is the end of the game, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As we always say, you know, like and subscribe, share with your friends. Those things really help the channel. And, you know, it's going to help us to grow. That's really what we want to do. Anyway, good gaming, guys.